I can take a look around the fun deck now, and I see that I seem to have a big problem over here. We can see a lot of fireballs above the heads of these aliens. If I right-click one of them, you can see down here, this alien is very angry. So whenever one of the needs is at 0%, like this one, for example, anger will start to generate in the alien. And if that anger ever gets to 100%, it won't pay me any more money, and it will try to leave the station as soon as possible. Right now, this one's taking a while because the lift is so full of people that it can't get down yet. But as soon as it can, it will go down. So we always want to try to prevent aliens from getting angry, but in this case, it's too late. It just seems like my lift is too crowded for the amount of aliens that want to travel between the decks, so I should expand my station. I will open this gate, which will give me access to a new sector. Now this whole area belongs to me as well, and I can start building in it. There's always some trash in a newly opened sector that didn't get cleaned up during the construction, but I can just pick that up with my special inventory. We can see there's already a lift built over here, because in the deck below where I control this sector, I've already placed the lift, so as soon as I got control of this area, it got connected automatically. And now my aliens will start spreading between the two lifts, and hopefully I can solve some of the problems that were there for the aliens, because they took too long for everything. The fun deck has a very unique feature though. Because all these buildings are pretty large and have lots of lights and effects, they need additional power in order to function, which the buildings in the sub-deck did not need. I can turn on the energy overlay, and we can see that this area is bright yellow. This means this area is supplied with extra energy. The whole area is yellow because in the starting sector of the fun deck, we have the energy collector. We have one in every deck. And this is like the heart of my station. So it's where I store my personal energy, and it's what controls the whole flow of energy throughout the station. And I should protect it at all costs, because if it gets destroyed, I lose the game. But unfortunately, the energy core doesn't extend to other sectors. So in this sector, I need to find another way to supply buildings with energy. I will go to the research menu again and unlock the energy distributor. And now I can build these, one around here, around there. And as soon as these are built, they will supply buildings in the surrounding area with additional power. While we wait for those to get constructed, I can also turn on another overlay, which shows me the air quality. So there's air throughout Startopia. All the aliens require air or oxygen. And they use it up over time, and some rooms, like this one that's highlighted in red, the loot box lottery, will cause pollution, which causes the air to go bad as well. So this very deep red area doesn't mean there's no air there anymore, but instead the air is very old and stale and just not fresh anymore, which aliens don't like walking through, and it can also cause them to get sick. So I want to clean up the air if possible, and I will build filters to do just that for me, and build some in this new area as well, just to spread fresh air all around the station. And if we look back at the energy overlay, because this distributor got finished, we can see that this area is now supplied with energy. The lift did work before already, because they are excluded from this. Since they are connected to the very foundation of Startopia, they don't require that additional energy, but all the other rooms in the fun deck do. Now, I should start thinking about the goal of this mission, which we can see in the top right, researching a new category and running a research lab. So let's see, this category is the one that I need to unlock. And when I click on it, I can see that I need to fulfill some prerequisites, which fortunately for me, I already do. I already run all those rooms, so I can unlock this category. And now I can unlock the research lab.
Congratulations,
What we can see
Commander.
and hear a little bit right now is the dialogue down here. This is Val speaking. Val is an artificial intelligence, and she's like the mainframe of Startopia. So she monitors the station, she takes care that nothing too bad happens, and she will comment on the things I do and sometimes give me tips. Sometimes they're helpful, other times they're not very helpful at all, because she's a very smart computer and thinks she always knows best. But yeah, that's something that will take part over the course of the campaign and evolve a bit, and she takes a very central part in that storyline. Now that I've unlocked the research lab, I will open another sector because it's quite large, so I need more space to build it. What we can see, which popped up down here, this timer that's running down, is a so-called legacy event. These can happen randomly, or if I fulfill certain objectives that are not revealed to me though. From time to time, Val will tell me something could be improved about Startopia. So she monitored the situation and said getting access to new sectors could be dramatically improved. You can either reduce the cost by half, but maybe I could encounter enemies in new sectors because she doesn't clean them out properly. Or I could reduce it slightly, but increase the amount of waste that will spawn in new sectors because she can't be bothered to fully clean the station. I will go with a larger reduction, hope I don't need too many enemies. What's interesting about these legacy events is that in multiplayer games, every player will get them at the same time, and every player can make their own choice. So depending on my playstyle, I can go different routes. For example, there could be a legacy event where the choice is between all your combat units doing more damage, but at the risk of them exploding with every attack because the batteries overheat, or putting much more armor on them at the cost of reducing their movement speed by a lot because they're so heavy they can barely walk anymore. And an aggressive player might go for option A and just try to risk it and try to finish the game quickly, whereas a defensive player might go for option B and try to focus on their economy and try to get a victory that way. Now I will order my droids to build the research lab, and hopefully one of them should arrive soon to build it. I also need to hire new workers for my research lab because the research lab is another race-specific job. So I will open the units menu. Now in this menu, I can see all of the visitors and the droids on my station, and I can filter by their race. I need to hire scientists for the research lab, so I'll click on them. And now I can also filter them by their skill and dedication. I've ordered them from best to worst. Their skill and dedication levels influence how effective they are at working and for how long they will work before taking a break. Now, I will hire a few of them, which costs me some money, but afterwards I don't pay them a wage. Instead, they are free to use all the buildings on Startopia without having to pay for them. So I get their workforce in exchange for losing out on income. And as we can see with the hired aliens, an experience bar appeared. So every worker on Startopia that does something for their job will gain experience. And if they fill that bar, they are able to be promoted. If I promote them, one of their statistics will rank up, and they will start gaining experience again. But if I don't promote them, after some time, they will get angry with me because they say I don't value their skills, and they will try to find a better employer. So I usually want to promote my aliens. It costs me some energy, but it's all right. Now, the research lab is an interesting room because it has two functions. For one, if I don't give my scientists a specific job, they will generate energy for me. So we can see here that I generate this sum of energy. They are helping the Intergalactic Research Council research big, important research stuff for the betterment of the whole galaxy. And by helping them, I get kind of like a participation award amount of money. But what's more important and what's the goal of this mission is that I can improve my rooms with the research lab. I will build a security station, which is kind of like a small police station on Startopia. While we wait for this one to get built, I will show you one that's already constructed over here. Now, if we look at this one, we can see that there's a list of security drones. So with each security station, you're able to have 4 drones, and these drones are travel throughout the station on their own, and they scan visitors and check to see if they are criminals. They detect criminals with a very high percentage, and if they catch one, they will escort them into the prison, where the criminal will have to sit out their sentence, and afterwards they will hopefully come out resocialized as an innocent member of Startopia again. And I will get a small amount of money for that as well of energy. Now, if we move back, we can see that the security station got finished. I will now deconstruct it, which puts it into this little handy crate. You can pick up that crate, maybe pick up trash as well. I could place that crate anywhere else on the station and construct that room there, so I can move my buildings freely if I want to. But in this case, I want to improve the technology of this room, so I will drop it on research and kind of gift it to my scientists. And now the guys working in the lab will focus on improving the technology of my security station. So they will dissect this room and look for its secrets, see where things could be improved and how they can understand the whole room better. And this takes some time. You can see this down here. Depending on the type of room you're dropping on it, it takes a longer or a shorter time. The more complex the room is, the longer it takes. But since I hired some fairly experienced scientists, it should go rather quickly. And each room that you improve will grant you a benefit. In the case of the security station, this means that I can have 5 drones with each security station instead of the 4. So every security station that I have already built, or every security station that I will build in the future, will now house 5 security drones. And now it should be done. All right, we can see the crate disappeared. That's the price I have to pay.
Commander, I congratulate
But
you. You've already done all
now,
the research
if we
you
take
need.
a look at the security station,
Wait a minute. You've
we
only
can see
just
there's a
completed
5th
the first
spot,
research.
and they're
Excuse
producing
me,
another
I
drone.
did not pay attention
So
to
by
the
doing
concrete
this,
number,
not
but
only
according to
does
the
it help me to
standard
fight crime on
evaluation
my
curve, I
station,
assumed that you
but
have
my
finally
drones are
reached your
also
goal.
a very basic
I'm
form of
sorry for
combat
my
units.
oversight.
They're kind of like the militia of the station. So I also improved my military strength. With other rooms, for example, with the recycler or something like that, if I level up that one, it will grant me more energy when recycling. Or if I improve the prison, it will go faster. The sentences of the aliens will be shorter because they have more effective resocialization methods, so to say. So that went fairly well, but it seems like something happened on the biodeck.
Commander,
They'll
my
just warn me
sensors are
about it.
detecting strange
So let's move
cocoons
up
on the
to the
biodeck.
3rd deck
I
of
would
Startopia that we haven't seen yet.
laser not available
This is
greater
the
than
Hey guys,
12
biodeck.
PM.
there's about 5 minutes
Well,
left of this demo.
Commander, you're a creative
All right,
fellow.
thanks.
I'm sure you'll find a solution.
Now, it seems like some weird eggs or cocoons have spawned up on here. I will now enter battle mode, and now I can choose my units and give them direct orders. So now I'm in a strategy mode where I can give movement orders, attack orders, and use special skills that units might possess. We can see that my drones are all moving up here and starting to shoot at these eggs. We should be able to take care of them if I'm quick enough before anything nasty can hatch from it. Let's hope so. Alright, only these 2 and only the last one. Yeah, looking good. I was able to destroy them on time before any creeps could spawn from it. But maybe in the future I want to be sure that I can deal with threats. So let's move back down again and let's think about constructing a mech. So this is also done in the security station. I can produce 4 different mechs. For now, I will build an artillery mech. Now, our mechs work in a way that each mech has strengths and weaknesses against other combat units. For example, the artillery mech that I'm building right now is very strong against sniper mechs, but it's weak against shotgun mechs because the shotgun mechs rush towards the artillery mech, and then it can't fire its rockets anymore because it doesn't want to hurt itself. Whereas the shotgun mechs are weaker against the sniper mechs because before they can arrive at their location, they will get picked off already. So depending on the threat you're facing, you might want to think about what your army is made up of and adjust it to that possibility. And the 4th type of mech is siege mech. It fires large lasers that are very effective against energy barriers and also against buildings, but it's pretty weak against other combat units, so you have to protect it if you're planning to attack another commander's station, for example. Alright, it seems like I'm still lacking resources in my cargo hold in order to build that mech though. Alright, seems like they're just getting transported there. So as soon as those are in, my unit should start constructing the mech. And it also seems like I have 2 more fuzzies in a crate, so little droids that can help me on the station. So I will take these and unpack them, and now they will start helping me build stuff, clean up trash, bring resources to rooms and everything. Now, while we wait for the mech, I can quickly jump back to the biodeck and explain what happens here. So up here is kind of like the relaxing nature area of Startopia. Whenever an alien is tired of looking at technology, flashing lights, and all the loud sounds and everything, it will move up to the biodeck and spend some time in nature to fulfill their nature need. And also, there are plants that grow on the biodeck. So we can see some of them here. And depending on the plant, I can harvest those plants. And depending on the type of plant, I will get different resources from them. In this example, medicine, which is used in the sick bay, or food, which is used in the snack machines. I can influence what plant is growing by choosing to paint a certain biome. So I can terraform my biodeck however I want to. Now I can paint this biome here, which will cause a certain type of plant to grow there. Plants will grow if they are planted by my hired farmers. We can see one all the way over here. If I hire them, they patrol or move around the biodeck and start planting plants and also harvesting them if they are ready to be harvested. And so I can make sure that I always have a constant stream of resources available to me, and I can control the kind of resources by choosing to paint the different biomes. Each alien race also favors a different biome, so I should also think about some diversity, because some like it hot, some like it cold. And so I need to make sure that every alien can find a biome that suits their need for nature here on the biodeck.